Welcome back to the NHL on MHS.
Scores!
What a shot!
Shot scores!
That is your winner.
Scores! A highlight reel goal as the Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. The Edmonton Oilers and the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Tuesday night special here on the NHL and MHS. It's Tristan Jarry against his former team, and also Stuart Skinner against his former team, the Edmonton Oilers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Glad you're with us on here on the NHL and MHS. I'm Max. Glad you're with us here and watching as it's Tristan Jarry versus Stuart Skinner. The trade that happened earlier on in the week, just 4 days ago, with Stuart Skinner being sent to Edmonton and Brett Kulak as well. Or Brett Kulak was sent from Edmonton to Pittsburgh alongside Stuart Skinner, and Tristan Jarry went to Edmonton. And now the question is, does that improve the goaltending for the Edmonton Oilers, and does that improve the chances of Connor McDavid potentially going to another final and getting the job done? Because this is just goaltending that they need right now if they want to make another run at this, going for the Stanley Cup once again. And they made the final 2 years in a row. They are trying to find that goalie that can take them to it. And before we start off, let's hear the thoughts from Stuart Skinner before tonight's game, and alongside Tristan Jarry as well. We'll hear their thoughts on how they have adjusted to this new move. Here is Stuart Skinner.
The family.
How unique are the emotions, your first game against your old mates?
Yeah, it's funny. We're ripping off the Band-Aid right away, which is good. I think, thinking about it, I think I'd rather it be like this and just kind of get it over with. But also to enjoy it too. You know, I get to play my old teammates, and me and Brett get to do it together, and I think that's nothing but exciting.
And so that was his thoughts before the game, and he sounds like he wants to get this done. He quoted earlier on in the day that let's go win this for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He wants to get a good start, obviously, with his new team. And obviously you want a great start with your new team. Becomes a question, does that help the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are in kind of a playoff hunt here in the wild card in the Eastern Conference? Does that help their chances and boost them? This is the goaltender that sent the Edmonton Oilers twice to the Stanley Cup final in the last 2 years. Does that help the Pittsburgh Penguins at all? We'll see. And here's the thoughts by Tristan Jarry on what happened. He has also played a game already. This is going to be his second game with the with the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, this is just, we got to get used to Jarry and Skinner being on different teams. Jarry won his first game against Toronto on Monday, and so this was his thoughts before tonight's game.
It's obviously crazy. I've never been a part of anything like that, so it's obviously all new. So going from one team to the next and then playing the next day, it's obviously a lot of emotions. It wasn't putting on a different jersey for the first time was a little weird, but obviously very excited.
And so those are his thoughts on how the move happened and all that stuff regarding the move from Pittsburgh to Edmonton. And he seems like he's ready. I mean, he's already gotten a win under his belt. There's also another storyline. Obviously, this is the McDavid versus Crosby matchup. Both of them are going to be on Team Canada in the Olympics. And this should be a good matchup with Sidney Crosby just 2 points away from tying Mario Lemieux in most points in the history of the Pittsburgh Penguins franchise. Sidney Crosby is at 1,721 points. Lemieux is at 1,723. And he's held the record since 1989, since January 20th of 1989, the Hall of Famer. And then for the Edmonton side of things, Draisaitl is just 1 point away from hitting 1,000 points. Going back to the goalie situation here, is it could be the problem, or is it going to be the solution for either of these teams? These are the save percentages before they got moved, and obviously Jarry had a game, and he won that. So obviously his stats have changed. Stuart Skinner hasn't played a game for the Pittsburgh Penguins just yet. But he will in this one. There's Tristan Jarry looking for a good start and going 2-0 with the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers and the Penguins next. We welcome you back, everybody, to Pittsburgh, the Oilers, and the Penguins. I'm Max, glad you're with us here on the NHL on MHS. And so, the Penguins looking to improve here with Stuart Skinner in their lineup. And for the Edmonton Oilers, now Tristan Jarry in their net, trying to be their new #1 goaltender for the foreseeable future. We're underway here in Pittsburgh. And the puck has dropped and we're underway as it's shot back into the zone. Goes along the boards. Fought for and it comes free out to center. Brought ahead by Brian Rust. Rust will move it ahead. Dropped it off for Raquel. Feeds it into the middle. Crosby backhand passes it back to the Witherspoon at the point. He was not ready for that backhand pass by Crosby. Here's Brian Rust now with the puck. The top line out here for the Pittsburgh Penguins, who have not won in 5 straight. They have choked multiple multi-goal leads in the last couple of games. Lost in a 6-5 overtime here in Pittsburgh to the San Jose Sharks, where they led the game 5-1 in the third period. Led 3-0 entering the third period against Utah the other day. And they lost that one as well in overtime 5-4. Shot back in as the race for the puck here. Goes into the corner for Heinen. Along the wall, comes free for Podkolzin. Podkolzin will move it ahead. They'll look to re-enter back in on side. Goes along the boards. Letang out of the reach. Draisaitl will take it. 1 point away from 1,000. Nurse tries to pass it across. That was intercepted. And here come the Penguins the other way. Moved ahead here. The stretch pass did not connect. It's going to be an icing on the Pittsburgh Penguins. 1 minute and 33 seconds away. Sidney Crosby, 3 points to break Mario Lemieux's franchise record. Can he get a 3-point night in this one? Knowing Crosby in his career, he can. But Draisaitl, just 1 point away from getting 1,000 career points. And a lot of storylines in this one. Man, oh man, it's Jarry versus Skinner, that with Draisaitl, and then with Sidney Crosby. There is not a lack of storylines here in this game. On Tuesday night rivalry hockey here on the NHL and MHS. Goes into the corner. Janmark was trying to get it away. And moved ahead here by Brett Kulak, who was part of the trade. Along the boards is Mangiapane. Comes free, and the Penguins will look to move it ahead off a skate of Kendall. Kendall will get it back. Shoots it back in, and they'll go for a change. Emberson now in front of his own net. It is just so odd seeing Tristan Jarry, who still has his Penguin mask, Stuart Skinner still having his Oilers mask as they had to just get some quick masks already. They haven't been able to have a new mask just yet for the goaltenders. Back in on side, shot on the way through by Anthony Mantha, went wide. Carlson feeds it across point to point. Carlson gets it again. He shoots through traffic and deflected wide. Mantha trying to get along the boards, pops free shot over the net. Good chance there. Goes along the boards. It was Tommy Novak who was trying to get it free and trying to shoot it back in. It was Quinn Hudson who got recalled from Bakersfield in the AHL on Monday, his first game of this season. Weatherspoon plays it across. Carlson, save made. Jarry, the former Penguin, making his first stop against his former team. Turnover at center as the Penguins re-enter. Shot, save made, rebound Rust. He lost his balance. Kevin Hayes, the initial shot. The shot's a 2-0 Pittsburgh. McDavid trying to cut in. McDavid slows it down. Drops it off to Bouchard. Bouchard with a lane. He shoots. Blocked on the way through. Goes behind the net now. Trying to feed it out in front was Hyman. Bouchard at the point. Feeds it across for Ekholm. Ekholm will send it in deep. Rimmed around the perimeter. Nugent Hopkins, and he couldn't hold it in deep. The other way come the Penguins as they look to counter the other way. Raquel trying to force it in deep. Letang will shoot it back in, and the Penguins have to go back at center because the Oilers cleared it. Brett Kulak, part of that trade, and he'll move it ahead. Shot back in by Tommy Novak. 5-game home losing streak, as we previously mentioned. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they've lost 4 of 5 in the extra session in this stretch too. So they've been able to get points, but they haven't been able to get wins in some games that were very winnable for these Penguins. Dewar, a big check along the boards, and that will be covered up by Jarry at the side of the cage. So the goalie matchup we've seen, Tristan Jarry this season, 10-3-1. His record, 2.69 goals against average, .908 save percentage, and a shutout of 1 this early season. Stuart Skinner still with his Oilers mask. It just looks so odd. 2 shutouts making Penguins debut, 11-8-4, 2.83 goals against average, save percentage below .900 though. It'll be Ben Kendall and Henrique in the face-off dot. Adam Henrique will stay in as Kendall gets kicked out for Justin Brazeau. Nurse in the corner, rimmed all the way around by Regula. Trying to clear it out of the zone, couldn't. Regula gets it back. Backhands it into the middle for Henrique. Henrique trying to battle some trouble there, and he does. Nurse will shoot it back in from center. Rimmed all the way around. Comes free for St. Ivany, who has not played in the game this season, I believe. Janmark along the boards. Janmark installs a D for Mangiapane in the corner. Janmark fell down. Nurse sends it across. Here is Janmark again. Matthias Janmark to Nurse. Shot from the blue line, deflected wide. Here's a chance shot of the short angle chance there. Connor Clifton. Janmark in the circle. Clifton across for Nurse. Shot on the way through off the blocker of Stuart Skinner. Makes his first save against his former team. Held at the point. And it's still in the offensive zone. It comes towards the front of the net. Penguins get to clear it. Bank pass by Stastny. Along the boards. Stastny gets it back at center. Backhands it in, was turned over right to Brian Rust. To Raquel, he moves it in. Raquel cutting in. Raquel got tripped up. Ricard Raquel draws a penalty. Erik Karlsson from the blue line. Across for Crosby. Rust fakes the one-timer. Back for Crosby. Rust feeds it back. Delayed penalty on Edmonton. Weatherspoon back up top to the point. Crosby again in the circle. Crosby holds. Flips it for Karlsson. Erik Karlsson at the blue line. Holds and waits. Karlsson still surveying an option. Feeds it up top. Long shot and a save made. Rebound was still loose. And it's covered. It was touched up actually. And so the Penguins will have the first power play of the game, and Matthias Ekholm not liking that call. But Raquel did get tripped up right there. And so We'll be right back. Penguins have a power play when we return. We welcome you back to Pittsburgh. It is 0-0 as the Pittsburgh Penguins are about to go to the power play. Power play percentage for the Pittsburgh Penguins in this season, 32.1%. That's ranked first in the National Hockey League. The penalty kill for the Oilers, 79.1%, 20th ranked in the National Hockey League. And so a tough task for the Edmonton Oilers penalty kill as we return back to action here in Pittsburgh. And everyone's standing on their feet as they are welcoming back Tristan Jarry. As he gets a salute from the crowd. Jarry, they said they were not going to do a tribute for him, but they are still giving him the recognition here in the crowd and everyone applauding to see Tristan Jarry back, but in a different sweater, as he's now with the Edmonton Oilers. As a Pittsburgh power play is about to begin here, 5-on-4, and Bouchard right off the draw clears it down the length of the ice. Skinner out to play it. Plays it for Erik Karlsson. Crosby, Mantha, Raquel, Rust, and Karlsson on this power play unit, the first power play unit. Oh, wow, what a fall there by one of the Oilers. I think it was Podkolzin, I think. Crosby holds, feeds it into the middle. Drops it off with Rust. Karlsson will move it ahead. Offside of the line. And not a smooth power play so far for the best power play in the league. And there's the man, Mario Lemieux. Penguins' all-time leader in points is here in the crowd if Crosby does beat his record here tonight, which he would need 3 to break it, 2 to tie it. Crosby will move it ahead. Sidney Crosby drops it off for Rust. Rust feeds it back to the point. Karlsson along the perimeter here. 2 Oilers in front, just trying to protect the front of the net. Karlsson feeds it across. Here's a shot by Rust and a save made. Rebound still loose. Rust feeds it back to the point for Karlsson. Fakes the shot. Rust again. Down low. In front of the net. Couldn't feed it across for Mantha. Mantha installs it deep for Raquel. Crosby trying to get it behind the net. It is cleared out by the Edmonton Oilers. Skinner with less than a minute to go here on the power play as the power play units change here as Letang enters the ice. Kevin Hayes the other way. Slaps it back in from the blue line. Jarry trying to slow it down along the boards. Goes for Kevin Hayes once again. Feeds it up top. Letang shot wide. Rebound was still loose. Goes wide and cleared down the length of the ice again by the Oilers. That was a fierceful shot there by Chris Letang and couldn't put it on goal. Back in on side. The Penguins into the middle. Shot, score! Power play goal for the Penguins. Justin Brazeau. What a centering feed right there. And that's the first goal that Jarry has led up against his former team. Justin Brazeau in the high slot. And Crosby's happy about that, as it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. 12:05 to go here in the first, and we might have a challenge or a review on this. It's determined if the play was potentially offside, I think. I think that is the argument that is being made. I think this is under review. I'm assuming they are looking at this for an offside. And here's the call by the referees.
After video review, the play was deemed to be offside. Therefore, we have no goal. All right.
So the goal is taken off the board, so we remain scoreless, as the play was offside by a couple inches right there. Man, oh man. Who was that? Ben Kendall, the rookie of this year, was way offside. Holy. And so that Brazeau goal does not count, and so the clock resets back to 12:09. And still a Pittsburgh power play then, as the top guys are back out there. That the benefit of having that challenger review on that goal was now they could rest the top guys and finish out this power play. Letang remains out there as Carlson's not out there. Raquel will move it ahead. Raquel into this high slot. Crosby shot! Blocked on the way through. Nurse backhand pass to Crosby. Shot by Raquel from a tough angle and a save made. Power plays over for the Penguins. Crosby tries to reach for the puck. He gets it. Tries to feed it into the middle. Matha was trying to get to the loose puck. Crosby steals it away. Raquel, and it's turned right back over to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard the other way, shoots it back in. The shots are 5-0 in favor of the Penguins here. Ryan Shea across for Letang in the far corner. Deflected out of the zone, out by Letang. Heinen will force it in deep into the corner. Ty Emberson trying to win the battle, couldn't, as Dewar will rim it all the way around. But the Oilers regain possession here as Emberson plays it back. McDavid. Emberson, McDavid, back for Emberson. McDavid getting tied up with Dewar in the corner glass. Draisaitl on the backhand. Draisaitl holds, got taken down in the corner by Letang. And now a penalty upcoming due to that. They take down Draisaitl, and they call Chris Letang for the penalty. And so the Oilers will have their first man advantage of the game with 10:48 to go. A interference call. Kind of a bad one to take there by Chris Letang. Well, pardon me, it was Heinen. I said they called Letang for taking him down. They actually call Heinen. Oh, wow. 10:48 to go here in the first period, and so the Oilers' power play, which is third in the league, with a 30.6% effectiveness. And the Pittsburgh penalty kill is 84%. That's fifth best in the league. But it's a dangerous Oilers power play. As that shot off the draw went wide, Hyman chips it into the corner for Draisaitl. Looking to get his 1,000th point here. McDavid in the circle. Back for Draisaitl. He shoots off the post! That close for 1,000 points for Leon Draisaitl. Oh, man. What a close opportunity there. McDavid in, across, Draisaitl holds, and a save made. Rebound still loose in front. What a pass and patience there by McDavid, and Weatherspoon clears it. Draisaitl hits the post and gets a golden opportunity right afterwards. Couldn't get his 1,000th point right there. Bouchard the other way. Drops it off for Leon Draisaitl again. McDavid with some speed. McDavid on the outside, looks to center. Draisaitl shot, and it's went wide of the net. He's had 3 chances here on this power play. And the funniest thing is, the Oilers have only been able to get 1 shot on this power play, as the other 2 either hit the post or missed. McDavid, and it's going to be a 5-on-3, a slashing call. Or a hooking call. 52 seconds to go. I think they call Pittsburgh again. It is Brian Rust. And so a 5-on-3 man advantage for the Edmonton Oilers. This one by Draisaitl off the post. the blocker side of Skinner. They must know. And then Rust taking the hook right there on McDavid. Of course it's going to get called. Can't hook McDavid, apparently. But it was a penalty. And so the Oilers with a 5-on-3 man advantage right here and a golden opportunity for 1,000 for Leon Draisaitl. Hyman, Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Evan Bouchard. Here on this 5-on-3 man advantage for 52 seconds. Draisaitl on the face-off dot. We'll look to try to win this one back. And he's going to get kicked out of the face-off dot against Connor Dewar. And instead, McDavid will take his place. I don't know if that's a better matchup. But Dewar actually likes it as he wins the face-off and clears it. Brett Kulak cleared that puck right here, the former Oiler. Evan Bouchard with 40 to go. McDavid will move it ahead for Nugent Hopkins. Along the boards, pressured by Dewar off the puck and cleared. And that's another delay of game. It's going to be another penalty, I think. Noel Acciari sends that into the stands. 3 straight Pittsburgh penalties. Brett Kulak, I think, sent that out of the stands. I thought it was Acciari at first. Kulak skies it out. And now it's going to be a really full 5-on-3 advantage, I think. It's always going to be a 5-on-2. You rarely see that. 3 straight penalties by the Penguins in a row in such short order. And some real got to take advantage here if you're the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl, Bouchard. Bouchard holds to McDavid. Across Draisaitl. He missed the net on the one-timer from the circle. Bouchard in his own zone now moves it ahead. A 5-on-3 advantage, I believe it is. Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid feeds it down low. Nugent Hopkins. McDavid again. Bouchard in the high slot. Bouchard shot. Save made by Skinner. And Weatherspoon looks to clear it. Couldn't. Bouchard holds it in. Evan Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid feeds it low. Down low in front. And Hyman couldn't receive the pass. McDavid again. McDavid holds. McDavid tries to center one. Couldn't as he lost the handle. Bouchard again to McDavid. Shot! Glove saved by Skinner. The best player in the world stopped by his former netminder. On the glove side right there in the circle. And nothing much really on this Oilers power. They've had chances, but I wouldn't say some crazy chances. Draisaitl's still out there. They're trying to get him his 1,000th point. Off the faceoff, Nugent Hopkins to Bouchard at the blue line. Bouchard holds to Draisaitl. Draisaitl in that circle. Bouchard, Draisaitl, McDavid. Down low, Hyman scores! What a setup! And Leon Draisaitl has his 1,000th point in his career. He's the 4th fastest active player to reach 1,000 points. And he's done it. 1-0 Edmonton. Against his former netminder at everyone pouring off the bench. And the former Oiler does not want to see that celebration as he turns away and drinks a bottle of water. Man. Draisaitl to McDavid. He'll get the secondary assist on that as Hyman barely pokes that in. McDavid, the pass slowed down. It kind of worked for Hyman. Goes through the 5-hole of Skinner. And Leon Draisaitl gets his 1,000th point. And that was a stoppable shot. But it's 1-0 and everyone enjoying that as Leon Draisaitl does get his 1,000th point here in his career. 4th fastest to do so, and that's one of the storylines done. And it's still going to be a power play for the Edmonton Oilers. There's 3 straight by the Penguins, so they could really take advantage here. They can get one more. McDavid splitting in. McDavid to the net shot. Score! What a goal! Connor McDavid! Do you believe what we just saw right there? He danced through the Penguins' defense. He goes on the backhand and he scores against his former goalie. 2 quick goals by the Oilers, and they're up 2-0, both power play goals. Oh my goodness, that is just filthy. The definition of filthy right there. Connor McDavid's done it again. Unbelievable. 8:08 to go in the first. They've burnt Skinner for 2. 19th goal of the season for Connor McDavid. And that's going to go on a highlight reel. That's the best player in the National Hockey League right there. 2-0 Edmonton. Oh, wow. That is just unbelievable. Shot back in from the blue line. Jarry will rim it all the way around. Letang holds it in off the glove. Letang trying to force it in deep. Might I remind you, the Edmonton Oilers have won 8 of the last 10 against the Pittsburgh Penguins, dating back to the 2019-2020 season. Chris Letang will move it ahead. Letang tries to feed it into the middle. Stick save there by Jarry. Turnover here. Letang holds, feeds it back, up high, and Novak could not handle the hot pass, and Janmark pressuring him from behind. Shea has it behind his own cage. Will move it ahead for Tommy Novak. Tries to backhand it in, couldn't. Mantha tries to feed it into the middle. Backing onside Raquel into the corner. Forced off the puck there by Emberson. And moved ahead here by the Oilers once again. Potentially a 4-on-2 here. Draisaitl feeds it across. Shot save made. Rebound. Draisaitl stopped. Loose in the crease. It's still loose. And oh my, what a chance. Here's another chance here. And it goes wide. Stastny with the opportunity. Draisaitl using the body to protect the puck there. Another turnover by the Penguins. Stastny feeds it into the middle. Deflection went wide. Draisaitl holds. Draisaitl. Emberson will get it. Back for Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl spins away from Mantha. Draisaitl feeds it into the middle. Into the middle is intercepted. Raquel will move it ahead, and he'll dump it back in. Zach Kyman, a power play goal. 8th of the season. McDavid and Draisaitl with the assists. Draisaitl has 2 points in this one. That's Connor McDavid's highlight reel goal. 2 goals in 14 seconds. Man. Both power play goals, by the way. 7 of 5, the shots favoring the Oilers, and they really did take advantage of the 3 penalties that the Penguins took. Icing here. 5:59 to go. Man, oh man, what a goal by McDavid. But Draisaitl has reached 1,000 points in his career. That is just an unbelievable milestone that he's just set for himself. 4th fastest to do so. And for the Pittsburgh Penguins, man, it's just what we really traded for with Tristan, with the Stuart Skinner. They're probably head scratching right now unless Stuart Skinner can make the big save. Ekholm up high, Bouchard across, Nugent Hopkins stick handles, McDavid shot, save made, goes wide of the net. Ekholm in the corner, along the wall. Nugent Hopkins trying to get it. Weatherspoon almost turned it over again, and Erik Karlsson we'll move it ahead here into the middle. Crosby in. Now here's the other milestone we needed to be talking about. 3 points from passing Mario Lemieux in points. Can Crosby get at least a point closer to Mario Lemieux, who is in the building tonight? McDavid cutting to the net. Hyman to McDavid. Couldn't go. And then it flutters behind the net. McDavid looking at center in Gretzky's office. Couldn't. McDavid tries to feed it into the circle. Couldn't, as it's turned over once again by Rust. McDavid, another nice move, and he gets poke checked from behind. He was trying to make 2 highlight reel goals and assists right there. Oh, my. And that's why he's the best player in the National Hockey League, and maybe ever in this current era of NHL hockey. Mangiapane into the corner. Letang moves it ahead for Heinen. Danton Heiden will move it ahead here for the Penguins. Shot back in from center. Nurse forced off the puck. Dewar. Heinen. Regula. Mangiapane flips it out to center. Heinen will knock it down. Mangiapane in the middle, disrupted by Jarry. Letang passes it back, so the Penguins down 2-0. That power play goal waved off due to offside, and imagine that did count. Would have changed the tide to this one. Shot, save, rebound, still loose. Is it behind Jarry? No. It is covered up by Tristan Jarry. 4:09 to go. And it looked like for just a second and maybe it was in. Connor McDavid, a highlight reel goal right here. 2-0 Edmonton. We'll be back. Welcome you back to Pittsburgh, everybody. And if you just missed it, Draisaitl just hit 1,000 points in his career. And if you missed Connor McDavid, you'll see that later on, potentially on TikTok, YouTube, whatever, Twitter. That was a highlight reel goal by Connor McDavid. And man, oh man, that is crazy. It's a shocker that the Edmonton Oilers are not even better. They have taken steps back, though. They did let go of Paul Coffey. They don't have Corey Perry anymore. They've lost some pieces, but, I mean, you have two of the best players in the National Hockey League here. And that's probably why they've traded for Jarry. They wanted the goaltender to be consistent. And, I mean, Stuart Skinner literally got burned by his former teammate not even 13 minutes into the game. Unbelievable. And for the Penguins, it's just a head-scratcher and why they traded Jarry. And Jarry's not that much better, but he's having a good season this year. So it might just be the momentum of just Jarry having a good season. Jarry was put on waivers last year. Cleared out by Henrique. Brett Kulak, part of the trade. Backhands it out to center. Here come the Penguins looking to get one back here. Back in onside, McGroarty. McGroarty behind the net. Tries to feed it in front, the rookie. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and a deflection on goal and a save made by Jarry. Nurse off the body of Janmark. He gets it back. Backhands it back into the far corner. Roby play by St. Ivany. Flipped across for Ben Kendall. It is just a shocker. Now the Penguins, maybe they reverse the trend here. They have multi-goal leads. Now they're down by multi-goal deficit. Maybe it turns the tides and they do the reverse of it. Maybe it's the opposite day for the Pittsburgh Penguins. St. Ivany. And he'll get it back off the pass. Podkolzin fell down. Bouchard going back for the puck. It will not be an icing. And it's Weatherspoon getting the puck back. Less than 3 to go. Carlson will move it ahead. Raquel dropped it off. Back for Carlson once again. He'll move it ahead. Carlson on the outside. Erik Karlsson slows it down along the boards. Pressured by Hyman from behind. Feeds it up top. Crosby fed it down low. Russ couldn't receive the pass. And a 3-on-1 the other way. McDavid into the middle. Nugent Hopkins. McDavid shot. And a save made by Skinner. Big save again. That might be the big save that keeps the Penguins in it. 2:31 to go here in the first period. Stuart Skinner saying hi to McDavid in the pregame. And then McDavid during the game, you know what? Forget about that. We are just going to score a goal like that right there and put you on the highlight reels for the wrong reasons. We'll be back, everybody. 2:31 to go here in the first period. We welcome you back to Pittsburgh. 2-0 Edmonton here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here at the PPG Paints Arena. And Leon Draisaitl having a 2-point night, and McDavid having a night of himself, too. He had a highlight reel goal on the latest goal in the game. And for the Penguins, they have looked kind of deflated since that goal was scored. First German-born NHL player to reach 1,000 career points. He's the 5th Oiler to reach that milestone. It is unbelievable what Leon Draisaitl has done in his career so far. Nugent Hopkins feeds it back. Ekholm shoots on the way through, and a save made by Skinner. Now for the Penguins, they have to crawl back into this one. McDavid behind the net. In the corner. Feeds it back up top for Bouchard. Feeds it down low. Nugent Hopkins got taken down by Crosby. Will that be a penalty? I don't think so. McDavid back up top to the point. Ekholm shoots it on the way through, deflected wide. McDavid turned over to Raquel. The way come the Penguins. The pass for Russ was out of the reach. Shot back in. Wide to Skinner. Nugent Hopkins plays it behind the net. McDavid. Nugent Hopkins trying to feed it down low. Drop pass. Long shot wide of the net. Carlson got tied up along the boards. McDavid takes it now on the backhand. McDavid stick handling. McDavid off a skate. Gets it back from Rust. Centering pass right here for Bouchard. Couldn't connect. There's another example of why the Oilers can hold the ozone pressure for long periods of time here in a period. 10-6, the shots favoring the Edmonton Oilers. Are up 2-0. Erik Karlsson right into the middle, lost it, broken stick. It was Dewar, I think. Pardon me, Tommy Novak. Shot back in by Emberson. Along the boards, Letang. Shea moves it ahead here. Onside is Heinen, 1-on-1. Dan Heinen shot. Deflected off a stick and out of play with 49.7 to go. We'll have our intermission report coming up next here on the NHL and MHS. As it's Tuesday night special here on the Oilers versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. As we'll have our intermission report coming up next on the NHL on MHS. And with 50 seconds to go here in the first period here. This is looking real rough for the Pittsburgh Penguins, who scored the first goal that was taken off the board due to an offside. It would have been a power play goal for Justin Brazeau, and now the Penguins and Crosby have to figure out a way how to get back in this one. They could really use a goal right here. Regula knocked it down right in front of backhand save, rebound, score! They do get it! And Tommy Novak on the rebound gets the Penguins back in the game. A turnover by Regula And Tommy Novak on the rebound as the initial shot by Mantha. Novak on the rebound, puts it in, beats Jarry. And now it's a 2-1 game. And a huge goal for the Penguins right there. With 44.1 left in the period. A huge one for the Pittsburgh Penguins right there. Nurse backhands it back in. Skinner playing it behind his own net. Penguins looking for one more maybe. Letang off a skate. Mantha, Letang. Along the boards, Letang trying to get it. Mantha lost it at center. Along the boards, moved ahead here. Kevin Hayes plays it back. Shea back for Hayes again. 15 to go in the period. They re-enter back in on side. Agragula rides him off the play. Shot blocked on the way through behind the net. Nurse looking to flip it. Hayes off the turnover. Centering pass shot. And it's blocked on the way through. Almost a tying mark right there. But it's going to be a 2-1 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. Going into the first intermission. Man, what a period of hockey. Draisaitl, we'll talk about his milestone. The McDavid highlight reel goal. And then the Pittsburgh goal that got them back in the game. Man, they were close to getting one. A turnover by Regula, and a bad one too. It hit off of, I think it hit off one of his teammates in Curtis Lazar. And so the Penguins are back in it. We'll be back, everybody. Intermission report coming up next. We'll go over the goals. We have a lot of talk about. A lot of action here in the National Hockey League as well. We'll be back, everybody. He had a good first period. We're welcoming you back. Intermission report here on the NHL and MHS. I'm Max. Glad you're with us here. And what a period that was. 2-1 Penguins after the first period. 10-9 the shots favoring the Edmonton Oilers. And let's look over the goals again. And Hyman scores the goal right here. 35th assist by McDavid. And most importantly, his Draisaitl's 1,000th point in the National Hockey League in his career. He is the first German-born player to do so, 5th Oiler to do so as well. He's the 4th fastest to do so as well, setting all kinds of records. And then just 14 seconds later, a absolutely highlight reel goal by Connor McDavid right here, skating through the defense of the Pittsburgh Penguins, beating Skinner. But then Novak, with less than a minute to go in the opening period, a terrible play by Alec Regula right here off the draw. Hits, I believe, his teammate and Nurse, and Mantha. Novak on the rebound puts it in, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are right back in it, and the Oilers just dominated the faceoff. That was one of the rare faceoffs that the Penguins won, and they took advantage of that faceoff win. They only won 5 faceoffs in that first period. And they really took advantage of that one. 2 for 3 on the power play of the Edmonton Oilers because the Penguins took 3 penalties in a row. And that's where it led to that 5-on-3 where Draisaitl got the 1,000th point and then McDavid scoring that highlight reel goal. And that's why they're 2 for 3 on the power play. 0 for 1 of the Penguins. Had a goal disallowed because it was offside. This could be a 2-2 tie right now, but it's not. 11-3 the hits favoring. 6-2 block shots. 6-4 giveaways. All the stats from the first period. And look at this, 9-12, 10-20, and then 10-38, the penalties. Just unbelievable to see. But we have a game again as Novak made it a game once again. Jarry looking to stay good in net. We'll be back, everybody. We welcome you back inside of the PPG Paints Arena, where the Pittsburgh Penguins are down 2-1. The Edmonton Oilers with 2 power play goals in that first period, and that's the score. 2-1 in favor of the Oilers after the first period, and a very entertaining first period, I might add as well. That Connor McDavid highlight reel goal, and then Leon Draisaitl getting his 1,000th point. McJesus, more like McCupless, as one Penguin fan said on a sign. But, I mean, he just scored a highlight reel goal against your team. So, I don't know. What evens out, a cup or a highlight reel goal? Probably a cup. The cupless drought continues, and the catch-up fear continues as well for Connor McDavid. But regardless, he scores that goal, and the Oilers are up 2-1 due to that. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have a huge momentum shift in that late minute of the first period with that late goal by Tommy Novak getting them back in the game. 2-1. As the Pittsburgh Penguins had a goal disallowed due to an offside, would have made it 1-0 Pittsburgh. But now they are trailing the game 2-1. Tommy Novak's goal did count. Back in onside. Raquel, and a save made. As it's Hyman playing it out to center. Turned it over as McDavid almost touched it. Would have been offside. Shots are even at 10. One to the Penguins. Crosby, touch pass. Didn't connect, and offside of the line was Weatherspoon. 44 seconds into the second period. Pardon me, 34 seconds. Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid assisted on the same goal for 136th time in their career, past Paul Coffey and Wayne Gretzky, fourth most in NHL history by a pair of teammates. They're just breaking a bunch of milestones right now. For Sidney Crosby, he wants to break a milestone as the man in the building who has that record, Mario Lemieux. Crosby's just 2 away from tying his points in all-time history with the Pittsburgh Penguins and 3 in beating the record. Janmark in. Janmark lost it in his skates. That means the Pittsburgh Penguins have to score 3 more times if Crosby can get those 3 points. Shot on the way through, went wide of the net, and he has to be on the ice as well. Shea rimmed it all the way around to the far point. Letang holds it in. Shot from the circle. Blocked on the way through. Kendo looks to center. Shot McGroarty, and it's blocked on the way through. Janmark clears it out to center. Letang flips it across. Ben Kindle trying to force it back in. Couldn't. Regula intercepted that pass, and it's turned over to Adam Henrique. Henrique shot, and a save made. Skinner off the blocker. Played back here by Shea. Shea pressured from behind by Podkolzin and Letang. Trying to spin away from contact. Draisaitl back for Podkolzin off the turnover. Draisaitl along the boards. To the point, Stastny rimmed it all the way around. Lost it along the boards. Poked into the corner. Penguins looking to clear, and they will. After all that difficulty to get it out. Draisaitl right into the middle. Touch pass right in front. They had a cutter. Podkolzin had a man in front, and he couldn't feed it to him. Emberson to Draisaitl. Trying to feed it back for Emberson. Didn't know if he was going to get it or it was Stastny. They just let it go out to center. Edmonton 8-1-3 when leading after the first period. That's the flex, no icing. Jarry was going to play it. Emberson gets it now. Move it ahead, deflected, no icing again. Along the boards. Oh, a big collision along the boards, and Corey Perry's hurt. Corey Perry is hurt. His knee. A weird collision along the boards. It was not Corey Perry, obviously. It was not Corey Perry. My bad. That was Curtis Lazar. And Lazar is hurt. I don't know why I said Corey Perry. He's not even on Edmonton anymore. Oh, man. Lazar is injured. And huge high to Just Games N8J. A awkward collision along the boards, and Curtis Lazar goes down hard along the boards. I don't think he can even put any pressure. It's his knee, I believe. And let's see this play again. Ooh, that might have gotten cut by Brett Kulak in the corner. Let's see. Oh, jeez. The skate was near his knee. Oh, and the skate was close to hitting him in the... Oh, man. That is a terrible sight to see. Curtis Lazar going down to the locker room. Not putting much pressure on his left leg. And an unfortunate sight to see here. And the Edmonton Oilers will have to just play a forward down, as they'll be short a forward in the lineup, at least for the time being. It did not look good for Curtis Lazar. Crosby and McDavid And instead it's Raquel and McDavid in the face-off dot. Teased us for a second, the linesman. And Edmonton wins another face-off. Ekholm in the circle. Back for Bouchard. Moved it ahead here. McDavid splits through again. McDavid holds. McDavid back to the point for Ekholm. Bouchard's wide open. Bouchard holds. Bouchard the lane. Feeds it for McDavid. McDavid with some room. McDavid backhand pass. Fluttering puck. Ekholm in the corner. Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard feeds it into the middle. McDavid splits through again. McDavid made a move. He is having a night. Ekholm. Bouchard. He's just dancing to the Penguins' defense right now. Ekholm. McDavid along the boards, trying to feed it in front, and a save made by Skinner. It was a rolling puck towards the net front. Cleared out by Pittsburgh. Ekholm to Bouchard. Back for Ekholm again. He'll move it ahead as he crosses the blue line. Drops it off. McDavid on the far wing. McDavid. Great pass to Emberson. Emberson shoots and a save made. Rebound save made. Skinner. And it is cleared out to center by the Penguins once again as the last minute has been dominated by the Oilers here in the offensive zone. Back in. Janmark dropped it off in the little shot. And that misses the net wide. Trent Frederick with the opportunity. Janmark behind the net. Lost it along the boards. And moved ahead here by Anthony Mantha. Lost it at center, though, and the Penguins back on their heels again. Shot back in by Janmark. Carlson off the pass from Stuart Skinner. Moved ahead here by the Penguins, and a misplay of the puck there by Kevin Hayes. Mantha up in the air. Lost it at center. Back in on side. What a move. Shot wide of the net. Quinn Hudson. And a pass across. Shot. Score! It sneaked in! Matt Savoy gets one through the 5-hole of Skinner, and it's 3-1. And that's a leaky goal right there, and Edmonton fans now praying that Stuart Skinner's not on their team anymore. Man, that is a very bad goal to let up there. Oh, and Carlson actually, that shot was going wide. It was intentionally a pass, I think. It was going to be a pass. It was a fluttering puck. Hits off the, no, it didn't even hit anything. No, that's just a bad goal, period, by Stuart Skinner. And man, oh man, his quote is not standing up from the pregame interview, and it's 3-1 Edmonton. Draisaitl moved ahead here. Maybe another quick response by the Penguins if they can get one here quickly. To the net, shot save made, Jarry. 15-11 left to go here in the second period. 3-1 Edmonton. As I don't know what Skinner was thinking. I mean, he had the pads down and snuck through. Man, a stoppable shot right there, and maybe that's what Edmonton was looking to get rid of. Stoppable shots that weren't stopped by the former netminder in Stuart Skinner. And now he's in Pittsburgh, and now the Pittsburgh Penguins are feeling it right now. Can they get the saves? 3 goals on 15 shots for Skinner in his debut. Dan Heinen wins the faceoff. Shot from the line, deflected wide of the net. And a backhander at the side of the cage. Couldn't get it, was Heinen. Heinen rimmed it around behind the net. It was Dewar. Or Chari, pardon me. Letang. We'll move it ahead for Shea. Stretch pass right into the middle. What a move, Achari, almost for a moment. Achari gets it back. It's still loose in his skates. Couldn't settle the puck down and get it to his stick. Regula gave it away at center. Shea trying to shoot it back in. He will. Is that onside, though? I don't think so. 14:30 left to go and a whistle. Was that with too many men on the Pittsburgh Penguins? I don't think so. So with 5.5 passing here in the second period, a deficit of 3-1 for the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Edmonton Oilers. 15-12-6 in the season. These are all huge wins. And then this is Dewar and Draisaitl during the play, and then Draisaitl took down Dewar. Was that the penalty? I don't think did they call that? They did call that. And so the Pittsburgh Penguins back on the power play, the best power play in the league. Leon Draisaitl for roughing. I didn't even notice that they called a penalty there. I thought it might have been on Pittsburgh for too many men, and it wasn't. Crosby, 0 for 1 on the power play. The Pittsburgh Penguins, 1 shot on goal. Racing for the puck was Henrique, shorthanded. Skinner plays it away from Henrique. Carlson will move it ahead. Erik Karlsson splits in, and he lost the puck. That's the type of night the Pittsburgh Penguins are having if they don't change the tides here in this one. Mantha holds to Karlsson. Karlsson, Raquel, Karlsson. Russ in the circle. On the outside on the outline. Karlsson to Rust again. Feeds it down low. Crosby trying to settle the pass down. Karlsson scores! It snuck past Jarry. A power play goal. And the Penguins again are within 1. Erik Karlsson the goal. And Crosby is 2 points away from beating Mario Lemieux in all-time points in Pittsburgh history. As Crosby did get an assist there. Karlsson, what a shot. And Mario Lemieux sees that and applauds. As he knows, Crosby got an assist on that one, and it's now a 3-2 game. 1 shy, actually, of the record. He's 2 of beating it. Along the boards, it is fought for. So, 1 away from tying it, and 2 away from beating it. Along the boards, Regula. Along the boards comes free. Chance for the game-tying goal in front. Oh, Kendall couldn't get it. Ben Kendall again. Holds to Kulak. Feeds it down low, and it was intercepted by Regula. Janmark the other way. Matthias Janmark on the backhand, trying to center it out front for Mangiapane, who is tied up to the point. Shot on the lane, and it deflects wide of the net. St. Ivan, he lost it. Mangiapane up top. Bouchard's shot deflected just wide of the net by Zach Hyman. Mangiapane steals it away, using the body there. Right into the middle. That's intercepted. Back in. Hyman deflects it back in from the blue line. Into the corner. Ridden off by 2. McGroarty. And Kulak. Comes free for McDavid. McDavid again. McDavid holding. Into the corner. One-timer by Bouchard. Wide of the net. Ekholm. McDavid with a goal and an assist and 3 shots. And he's been out there for almost 11 minutes on the ice. McDavid, a Bouchard, winds, fakes the shot. Bouchard holds. Bouchard still with the puck. Ekholm got cross-checked, no penalty, I don't think so. Bouchard again. Along the boards, touched up. It is going to be called. It was a clear cross-check. And Ekholm and Justin Brazeau get together right there. And a 4th power play for the Edmonton Oilers. There was Karlsson. He got the goal to make it 3-2, but the Oilers back on the man advantage when we return. We welcome you back to Pittsburgh, everybody. 3-2. Edmonton, they'll have a power play. Crosby's just one away from tying Mario Lemieux in points in all-time Pittsburgh Penguins history and 2 away from beating Mario Lemieux to be the all-time leader in points in Pittsburgh Penguins history. But a power play here for the Edmonton Oilers. And Justin Brazeau for cross-checking on Ekholm. Draisaitl, 2 for 3 on the power play of the Edmonton Oilers. Here in this game, and it's a 3-2 game here. A false start off the draw, and we'll get a restart. Hyman, Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Bouchard. There's Mario Lemieux again in the suite here at the PPG Paints Arena. Off the draw, one here from the blue line, and McDavid. Back for Bouchard. Across. Here's McDavid across. Draisaitl. A shot, and it goes wide of the net. McDavid along the boards. Cleared out of the zone. Bouchard knocked it down. 14-12, the shots favoring the Oilers in a 3-2 game. And Skinner kind of took a bump right there on, I think that was Noel Jarry. Wow. Backing onside is McDavid. McDavid up top. Draisaitl. Back for McDavid again. McDavid to Bouchard, fakes the shot. Back for McDavid at the blue line. 45's passed here on the power play. Draisaitl down low. Nugent Hopkins couldn't handle it as he was tied up. And a bouncing puck turned right back over to Nugent Hopkins once again. Feeds it back up top to the point. Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins deflected it. And not cleared out yet. Another clearing attempt that was intercepted. Nugent Hopkins holds on to it. Nugent Hopkins back door. Hyman was wide open until the last second. Bouchard, Draisaitl. McDavid couldn't handle the pass. McDavid again. McDavid holds. Draisaitl in his spot right now. McDavid shot. Save made by Skinner. McDavid. Bouchard holds. Bouchard shot. Score! Barred down. Power play goal again for the Edmonton Oilers. It's 4-2. Evan Bouchard with the goal, barred down on Skinner. That's 4 goals on 16 shots for the former Edmonton Oiler netminder. And every single time the Pittsburgh Penguins get within 1, the Oilers get 1 back and make it a 2-goal lead once again. Been up 2-0 in the game, 3-1 in the game, and now 4-2. And that's a beautiful shot there by Bouchard, barred down. Penguins could not clear the zone multiple times, and that's why they get burned right there. 6th goal of the season for the defenseman in Evan Bouchard. And it's a 4-2 lead for the Oilers. Letang along the boards. Letang ridden off into the corner. We're halfway through this game in a 4-2 deficit for the Penguins. Crosby shoots it in from center, wide of Jarry. Nurse along the boards. Mangiapane will move it into the middle. Back in onside. With the puck is Henrique. Henrique installs it deep. Letang lost it along the boards to Mangiapane. And cleared out of the zone. 9:45 to go. Moved ahead here. Penguins are back in onside. Crosby deflected back to a vacant point. Shot back in from center. Emberson. Emberson across. And moved right into the middle. Shot back in by Nugent Hopkins. Evan Bouchard with the goal, his 6th of the season. McDavid and Draisaitl with the assist. Draisaitl with a 3-point night. St. Ivany got ridden off, but he forced it in deep into the zone. Along the boards, McGroarty was trying to get it. Kulak rimmed it all the way around. Big hit there by St. Ivany. Shot blocked on the way through. Comes back. Kulak's shot was blocked on the way through again by Emberson. Less than 9 to go here in the second period. Back in onside. The Edmonton Oilers, Nugent Hopkins. Feeds it back to the point. Bouchard couldn't hold it in. Turnover here. The Penguins could potentially have a 3-on-2 right here. And they mess up that play terribly. Holy moly. McGroarty. Hey, it took way too long. A 3-on-2 there, and Crosby just looks in stunned disbelief. 4-2 Edmonton. They lead with 8:42 left to go. We'll be back, everybody. We welcome you back to Pittsburgh, everybody. 8:42 left to go here in the second period. It's a 4-2 Edmonton Oilers lead, and 3 of their 4 goals have been scored here on the power play. And man, oh man, has special teams not been good for the 5th best penalty kill that's probably gone down for the Pittsburgh Penguins after this game. That is just, man, oh man. They cannot let up that many power play goals, but I mean, it's the Edmonton Oilers. 3rd best team in the National Hockey League in the power play percentage, and probably improve here tonight with 3 of 4 being scored on the power play. And 3 of their 4 opportunities converted. Bouchard moves it down on a stretch pass. Ekholm in the corner. Ran off by St. Ivany. Ekholm along the boards. Comes back. Savoy. Bouchard. Along the boards, it is cleared out of the zone as Petkolzin could not hold it in as it was forced out by Hayes. Bouchard across for Ekholm. Draisaitl moves it into the middle, back in on side of the Oilers. On the backhand. Feeds into the corner. Goes back up high, and Hayes will move it ahead. He'll force it back in deep for the Penguins back in the Oilers zone. And Savoy picks it up now. Draisaitl back in on side. Leon Draisaitl holds, tried to feed into the middle. Savoy got knocked down. Draisaitl gets the puck back. Forced it into the corner. He was written off by Shea. Letang will move it ahead. Crosby's back on the ice. Maybe they can get one more point for him to tie the record. Shot from a tough angle. Did not go. Shea from up top. Feed to the cross. Long shot by Letang. Blocked on the way through. And potentially an odd man rush here for the Oilers. McDavid tries to find a cutter in Nugent Hopkins and couldn't. Stuart Skinner gave it away. Tough angle shot. McDavid. It's loose in the crease. And it's a goal. I think Stuart Skinner kept it out with 7:11 to go. A misplay and almost costed him for the 5th goal for the Oilers. And that is the Stuart Skinner we have seen. And that was a great save, actually. Did that go in? We will have to check on the video review here. 7:11 to go, and this is a huge part of the game. This crossed the line before the whistle. McDavid celebrated, then said, oh, wait, it's not in. 4-2 Edmonton. And with 7:11 to go, this could change if they review this play. I think they will review the play. And with 7:11 to go here in the second period, it is still a 4-2 Edmonton lead. 7:11 to go, and they're putting this under review again, and we're doing this again. And we'll see if this has crossed the goal line or not. We have not seen an angle where it has crossed it. I can't tell if that went in. I think that stays on the goal line. Yeah, that never gone. That never went in. That should be an easy call, I think. Unless we can see another angle of that puck. The problem is here is that Stuart Skinner's goalie pad, his whole equipment, and the jersey, all black, and the puck is black. So it's very hard to tell if this crossed the line or not. And let's say hi to the chat here. Kuzio Collective said, hey, from New Zealand. Wow. New Zealand. That is crazy. I'm from Texas, so that is, wow. New Zealand. Forward to Edmonton for the moment. They are still reviewing. Now they get the green light to review it. They were waiting for, I guess, the replay of the play so they could review the play. It's a lot of play. Oh, man. Let's see if we can go over National Hockey League scores. Born and raised in Alberta, though. Oh, I can tell. Yeah, you're watching the Edmonton Oilers game. Probably have some connection to the team, or if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. And let's see, does that go in for Edmonton? I don't see it from there. There is no conclusive evidence that that puck crossed the line with 7:11 to go. If that does go in, it will be a 5-2 lead. It will be the first 3-goal lead for the Edmonton Oilers in the game. And can we see here from the... No. Hyman skates in the way. Move, Hyman. Hyman celebrated. He saw the best angle of it. But again, the refs have to find a conclusive angle of that play to see if that is in the net. And this review is taking a long while here. I'm not sure if Hyman did score. But now the referees are going to make the decision right here, and we're going to figure out right now. Let's see. What is the call?
After review, the puck never crossed the goal line completely. No goal.
And so the call is confirmed. No goal. And so the Pittsburgh Penguins still having a fighting effort in this one. They got to really take advantage of that no goal. 2 no goals in the game, one from Pittsburgh's side of things. It was an offside, and that one just never went in for the Edmonton Oilers. So it's still a 4-2 game. Heinen and McDavid in the faceoff dot. Kicked out was McDavid. The refs need glasses. We never saw a good angle of it. So I'm not sure if that did go in. If there's another broadcast where we see, maybe the Sportsnet, maybe I'd have to see during like a commercial or intermission to see if that puck did really go in. McDavid moves it in the other way. McDavid on the outside. McDavid cutting to the net. McDavid tries to center one in front. He was trying to feed Hyman in front and just trying to get the goal back, I guess. Back in onside. Achari forced it in deep. Achari almost stole the puck away from Regula. Almost another mistake by Regula in the game. Achari leaves it. Shot towards the net was stopped on the way through. Achari backhander towards the net, and a save made by Jarry. On the doer. Turnover here. Achari feeds it across Crosby. Carlson. They have some pressure here in the offensive zone. Carlson. Pass back. Rust. Witherspoon again. Rimmed it around for Rust, who lets it go for Carlson. Nurse took down Rust on the way through. Crosby. Delayed penalties coming up to Edmonton, and it will be a power play. But then Rust and Nurse start hitting each other in front of the net. And this game has gone a little bit physical. And the Pittsburgh Penguins will go to the man advantage, I believe. And not any other penalties called here. Nurse is arguing his case, but he's going to the box. He is still yelling. He better watch out here unless he gets an unsportsmanlike. And Darnell Nurse to the box. And we'll be back, everybody. 5:58 left to go. Second period. Pittsburgh will go to the power play when we return. Welcome you back, everybody. And a 4-2 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. A big hit by Wotherspoon and Hyman before the penalty was taken here by Nurse. An interference call on Brian Rust, and was arguing his case afterwards. Lazar is back on the ice, but I think he was trying to test out if he could make it, and he's on the bench. So Lazar might have returned. Can he stay on the bench? That's the question. That is just unbelievable. It looked like he was going to be done for the game. Clean up the ice here. Crosby's here on the power play, looking to tie the record with Mario Lemieux for most points in the history of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's see if Crosby can get something here. He wins the faceoff. Rust. Carlson across. Mantha back for Carlson at the blue line. Rust looks down low. Raquel, and a save made. Jarry. Skinner had to wait for the puck to flex it to Carlson behind his own net. A huge power play for the Penguins if they want to get back within one again. Mantha carries it ahead. Mantha shot and a save made. Crosby tries to knock it down. Carlson to Rust. Rust back for Carlson. Crosby again. Crosby holds. Feeds it for Rust. Down low. It deflected wide. Raquel and Janmark cleared it out of the zone. Skinner out to play it. Left it for Erik Karlsson. The minute left to go here on the power play. Karlsson will drop pass it for Anthony Mantha. Along the boards, it's Rust. Emberson pressuring him. Goes to the far side for Crosby. Karlsson across Rust. Rust shoots, and it goes wide of the net. Mantha and Crosby trying to get to the loose puck. Rust, and it's going to be cleared out again by Matt Savoy. And so Crosby will not get the point, at least on this power play, at least. Trying to time Mario Lemieux for the record, and he's off the ice already. Novak cutting in. Novak to the corner. Has one of the two goals for the Penguins here in this one. Hayes across, one-timer, Kendall. Save made. Big save by Jarry on Ben Kendall, his former teammate. A one-timer. 4:14 to go here in the second period. 4-2 Edmonton. Big save there by Tristan Jarry, the new goaltender of the Edmonton Oilers, coming from Pittsburgh in his return. Crosby's back on the ice with 16 seconds to go on this power play, so maybe he does get the point here on this power play. Maybe I just spoke a little bit too soon. Crosby, Mantha, Raquel, Brian Rust, and Chris Letang out here. The top unit back on the ice again. They're trying to get Crosby the milestone, or trying to tie with a milestone, and that's cleared down the lane to the ice by Bouchard. Bouchard doesn't want to have any fun with that. Letang will move it ahead. Rust will shoot it back in. That will do it for the third power play of the night for the Penguins. They're 1 for 3. McDavid lost it at center. Crosby has the puck, and he'll move it ahead for Brian Rust. And they say that was offside, and he didn't like the call on that, as he is voicing his frustration on that. 3:48 to go. Man, oh man. And a 4-2 Edmonton lead against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And here at the PPG Paints Arena, I'm Max Gladue with us here on the NHL and MHS, and continuing coverage of the regular season, playoffs, and the Stanley Cup Final here in the 2025-2026 regular season. Hope you tune in for the rest of the way. Shot in by Dewar. Along the boards, Jarry. Bouchard will move it ahead. Bouchard. Draisaitl shoots it back in from center. Skinner. And now the Penguins have to get some momentum here. If they really want to get back in this one, they had a power play. Not much on it either. They need a huge mistake here by the Oilers or something. They need to go. The Oilers are doing fine right now. McDavid will move it ahead. McDavid drops it off to the point where it was vacant as they were going for line changes. The Oilers, Regula, offside by a mile with 3:06 to go here in the second period. Shots are even at 17.
Tuesday, December 9th, the overtime loss of the Anaheim Ducks. They allowed the game-tying goal in the last second of regulation. It was an own goal by Erik Karlsson. And then December 11th, a 4-2 loss to Montreal. That was 5 days ago. That was the start of game delayed. And then they lost in overtime to the Sharks after blowing a 4-goal lead in the third period. And also against Utah, they blew a 3-goal lead, forced it into overtime, and lost. So the Penguins have been struggling on this 5-game losing streak. St. Ivany lost it along the boards to Janmark. And you really can't afford to lose here in the Eastern Conference. It is just that tight in the Eastern Conference. 1 week, Detroit's out of the playoffs. The other week, they're at the top of the division. Just an example. 2:41 to go. Offside. Blowing a 3-goal deficit, or 3-goal lead in the third period in less than 6 minutes. It's just unbelievable what these Penguins have done in the wrong way of unbelievable. Crosby shaking his head. There's Kyle Dubas, the general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he's eating some popcorn, I think, while watching this game. All right, he is just calm about this. 2:41 to go in the second period. Emberson. Penguins are 0-1-4 in their last 5 games. Skinner leaves it behind the net. 2.5 to go here in the second period. In a 4-2 deficit for the Penguins. Shot back in. Raquel trying to get it. Emberson, big hit by Raquel along the boards. Draisaitl. Raquel's stick was being held there for just a moment. Backhanded back in by Edmonton. Played off the glass by Skinner. A bad play there almost. Karlsson feeds it into the middle. Here's Crosby the other way. Potentially a 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Rust to the net. Dropped it off for Crosby. Drops it off again for Karlsson. He shoots and it goes wide of the net. Crosby to Rust. Rust holds to Crosby down low behind the net. Crosby centering pass. Up high. One-timer Rust and a save made. Jarry and a penalty upcoming. With 1:46 to go, Regula argues, but I think it's going to be Regula who goes to the box as Crosby got high-sticked. And the Penguins will go to the power play late in the second period and to try to get within one again. Regula was the player who kind of messed up on that first goal by the Penguins. That counted at least. It was a cross check. I thought it was a high sticking. I thought by the linesman or by the referee he was referring to a high stick. It wasn't. So a perfect power play opportunity right here for the Penguins. Crosby, Mantha, Raquel, Rust, and Karlsson. They're 1 for 3. They got to make this one work. Is 4th time's a charm? Huge power play here. 5 shots on the power play tonight for the Penguins. And again, right off the face-off, Edmonton clears it. They have done that, I believe, in every single power play the Penguins have had. The opening face-off has been won by Edmonton for the majority of the power plays. Mantha to Rust. Angled him off and is forced back out to center. Karlsson. Crosby. Raquel. And they're really missing someone with Malkin out of the lineup. Mantha. Bouchard could really help their power play right now. Malkin's injured. Karlsson. Rust. Along the boards, Raquel. Swings it around for Crosby. Back to the point for Karlsson. Across for Rust. A minute left to go here in the period. Karlsson holds it in. Karlsson. Rust. Across Crosby. Trying to feed it across quickly and couldn't. This was intercepted. Stuart Skinner way out of his net. Just skates away as Crosby picks up the puck. A minute left to go here in the power play. 40 seconds to go here in the period. Karlsson rims it around. Jarry trying to play it. Jarry clears it down the length of the ice. And Stuart Skinner handles the puck. 33 seconds to go. Stuart Skinner plays it behind his own net. Passes it as the second power play unit is on here. 25 to go in here in the period. Novak, maybe another late goal for the Penguins to get back within one. Letang, that pass picked off, and the other way come the Oilers. And that was almost stolen away by Savoy. 12 seconds to go. Stretch pass. Novak to the net. Goes behind the net. It was forced off the puck. Letang across one-timer. It was fanned on completely. And that'll do it for the second period. Still a power play with 14 seconds left on it. But the Oilers still have a 2-goal lead. But the score has changed. It's now 4-2. Wow. Man, that is just a tough goal that led up was Skinner. With Savoy's goal that made it 3-1. That is a rough goal to let up, obviously. Not the best of ones to let up there in such a crucial situation and trying to get back in the game. But right now, the score, 4-2 Edmonton on the Tuesday night special here on the NHL and MHS. Our intermission report is coming out next. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome you back, everybody. Intermission report here. And the Oilers with a 4-2 lead against the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is the goals from the first period. We'll go over the goals in the second period. This was a very bad one by Stuart Skinner, the former Edmonton Oiler netminder. This should be a very stoppable shot right here. This is just unacceptable for him to let up right there. Goes to the 5-0, barely sneaks through. 4:35 in, Matt Savoy made it 3-1. But then a power play for Pittsburgh changed it up. A great shot by Erik Karlsson. And Crosby is one away from tying the record with Mario Lemieux in most points in the history of the Pittsburgh Penguins franchise. And that helped there as Crosby got the primary assist on that one. See if Crosby can get 2 more points to beat it, because we just reached the milestones here tonight with Draisaitl getting 1,000 points earlier on in the game. This is the power play goal by Edmonton as Pittsburgh took a penalty. And Bouchard just had so much room to just shoot the puck, and he did. Bar down and made it 4-2. These are the stats after the first and second period. Only 5 more face-off wins for the Penguins. They had 5 in the first, and now they have 5 here in the second. They really need to improve in the face-off dot. That's been one of their weaknesses in the game. The other weakness is their penalty kill. They've allowed 3 power play goals in the game. They've only scored on 1 of 3 power play opportunities that they've had. The hits, though, they are very physical right now. They just can't get the hits to where they most need to, and just a large quantity of hits right there. And they meet again on January 22nd. That'll be the last matchup between these two teams. That will be in Edmonton at Rogers Place. So the Penguins still have 14 seconds to go on their power play when we return to the third period. See if they can make a comeback here in this one, and see if Crosby can beat Mario Lemieux's record that has been held there since January 20th of 1989. Let's see if Crosby can do it. We'll be right back with the third period coming up next. We welcome you back to Pittsburgh, and the Pittsburgh Penguins down 2-0, or down 2 goals in the game. Pardon me, everybody. 4-2. The Oilers lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins on the Tuesday night special. And here in the PPG Paints Arena here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm Max. Glad you're with us here on the NHL and MHS. And for the Penguins, they're going to need a huge third period here. And see if they can get it going. And get back in this one. 4-2. Edmonton leading it. The latest goal coming off of Evan Bouchard's stick. And it's been like that ever since. So, a 4-2 Edmonton advantage here. And Jarry's getting the better of Stuart Skinner in this one. Stuart Skinner has not been that very good in this one. He really hasn't. Especially that goal that he let up against Matt Savoy. It is just unacceptable that he just let that one in. Out of all goals, he lets that one in. It's just, that was not it. That was not the move. That was not the save that the Pittsburgh Penguins need. They needed that save, obviously. Right now, scores around the National Hockey League. 3-2 Detroit with 25 seconds to go. See if the Islanders can tie it up there. Edmonton 46-0-0 when Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl record 3+ points in the game. 46-0. Records are meant to be broken, and if Crosby has an electric third period, he'll break the record and potentially get the game back within one again if they can get something going here, maybe. And the power play is over for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They had a couple of seconds left on it. Got too many men there on the Edmonton for just a moment. Stastny will shoot it back in. Rimmed it all the way around, and Witherspoon plays it for Carlson. Carlson flips it up into the air out center. Bouchard, McDavid again. Moves it ahead here on the stretch pass, Hyman. Hyman in the corner, looks to center for McDavid. No one was there. He was tied up. McDavid tied for first in points now. Thank you so much. Kendall across, and the pass couldn't connect. Draisaitl the other way. McDavid to Draisaitl into the middle. Bouchard across. Hyman off his skate. The pass could not connect for Evan Bouchard to Hyman. Ekholm to Bouchard. Point to point. Ekholm to Bouchard. Sends it low into the corner. McDavid pressured. Not off the puck just yet, using the body to protect it. Letang will get it now. Turns it over to McDavid. A diving play there defensively to prevent the pass to Draisaitl, who was wide open in front of the net. Great play. Brazeau in. Brazeau spins away. Pressured from behind. Kendall. Referee was in the way there. Nurse. Hayes couldn't hold it in along the boards. Letang at center. We'll move it ahead. Mantha, if you want to hear the call again on the goal I just commentated with the milestone with Draisaitl, I am on TikTok, Max_M2027. Behind the net is played here. Mantha holds. Mantha looking, centering pass, couldn't connect for Tommy Novak. Third line out there for the Penguins. Janmark along the boards near the point. Sends it low down in the corner. Across it goes. Shot by Stastny off the side of the boards. And it's blocked on the rebound. Mantha could be on a breakaway here. Mantha in. Mantha save. Jarry, as he was tied up from behind. Mantha still got a backhander away. A good chance there for the Penguins to get back in it. Big save by Jarry. 19-17. The shots favoring the Pens. But they are down 4-2. Raquel to Rust. Crosby's on the ice. Rust to the net. Shot. Save made. Rebound. Is it in? Jarry kept it out. Driving to the net was Rust. Couldn't put it in, and Jarry lets out a smile. But here in this third period, the Pittsburgh Penguins are starting to fire some offense here. Jarry's made some great plays in this one. He has been a very good netminder, playing the puck behind the net. Some passes to McDavid. He has been very careful in playing the puck behind his own net. That has not been the case with Stuart Skinner in this season. Maybe that's why. Is this the difference that the Oilers make? Another move in the regular season where they somehow, when it looks like all the odds are against them, they go for another run. We'll see. Off the face-off. He goes across. Shot from the line, deflected wide as Raquel was parked in front. Crosby's at the goal line. Deflection. Blocked on the way through Ekholm. Carlson was a shot from the point. Witherspoon drops it off for Carlson. Almost turned over to Podkolzin, but Witherspoon has to go back for the puck. Backhands it around for Carlson. And Crosby will play it back for Witherspoon, who has to reverse it back for Carlson, who falls down almost. Man, the Pittsburgh Penguins have been sloppy trying to get it out of their own zone. And then they turn it over right away to McDavid. Nurse gets it again. We'll move it ahead at center. Hyman drops it off for Nurse. Nurse will move it ahead here. Nugent Hopkins, deflected pass on the touch pass. It was McDavid. Hyman would have been offside if he touched it. He didn't. They touch back. Witherspoon will move it ahead here. Playing it back here was Novak. Or pardon me, Dewar. Back in onside is Heinen. Heinen ridden off along the boards, but he gets the puck back. Passes it back to the point. Shea, a shot and a pad save, Jarry. McDavid will move it ahead the other way with Nugent Hopkins. 2-on-1, Nugent Hopkins shot and a save made by Skinner. Huge save there to keep the Penguins in it. Back in onside. Shot wide of the net. Jarry with the opportunity, and the fluttering shot went wide of the net. Playing it back here. Shea along the boards. Shea behind the net. Shea to the point, Letang. Rimmed it around. McGroarty has the puck. Feeds it back to the point for Shea. Across for Letang, point to point. Kendall pressured by McDavid, a drop pass. Back for Letang, winds and fires a shot that deflected McGroarty. And then McDavid passes it for Nugent Hopkins, and the Oilers will get out of their own zone. It seems like some potential for the Penguins in the offensive zone, and then they make a mistake and they turn it over. Oilers are able to clear it so nicely. On the other side of things, the Penguins have not been able to clear the zone nicely in their neutral zone or in their own zone. Back in onside here, the Oilers trying to get something going here. Shot towards the net and deflected, and Skinner will make the save. 14:32 left to go in a game where it's a 4-2 lead for the Edmonton Oilers, and the Oilers in this season have blown multi-goal deficits in this, or multi-goal leads in games this season. That has been some of the problems. That was with Stuart Skinner, though. So, does it make much of a difference if Stuart Skinner's not in the lineup? Maybe, with multi-goal leads. Tristan Jarry in his career with the Penguins, 161, 132, and 2.74 goals against average and all that. Stuart Skinner at the other end had above 900 save percentage with the tenure with the Oilers. 15 saves tonight for Skinner. 18, I believe, for Jarry. 15 of 19 stopped by Skinner. 18 of 20 stopped by Jarry. You can tell me who's a better goalie right now, at least in the game. Penguins trying to get back in this one. Stastny along the boards and feeds it out to center. Shot back in from center ice. Jarry plays it. Jarry, patient play. Stastny. 6 minutes have passed here in the third period. Skinner almost misplays it behind his own cage. Avoids a big mistake right there. That would have been offside. They do touch up Janmark, and it is offside on Edmonton. 13:49 left to go here in the third period. Sidney Crosby needing to lead his team back in this one. They're down 4-2. Way back. We welcome you back, everybody. And a 4-2 lead for the Edmonton Oilers over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And this one where the Pittsburgh Penguins still have 13:49 left to get back in the game, but they are needing to get something quickly here. They need something, momentum shift potentially. Crosby's back on there. He needs one more point to tie Mario Lemieux for the all-time record and most points in the history of the Pittsburgh Penguins franchise. Crosby already has a point tonight. Got the assist on the Erik Karlsson goal that made it 3-2. On the power play, Rust will move it ahead. Brian Rust on the outside. Bouchard pressured him off the puck. Karlsson gets it back at the point. Karlsson feeds it into the middle. Backhand pass to Rust, and the shot went wide of the net. Raquel got taken down. Draisaitl. And not held in the zone. Potentially a 3-on-1 here. Draisaitl leading the rush. Draisaitl across. Couldn't go. Puck goes and scores. And it's 5-2. Another odd man rush, and Draisaitl is having a night. Believe that's 4 or 5 points tonight for Leon Draisaitl. He is on fire. The pass was blocked from Draisaitl. It bounced back to Podkolzin, who was trailing the play. Russ did not cover him. And no chance for Skinner right there, and it's a 5-2 lead for the Edmonton Oilers in a game where they have capitalized on their opportunities, and not looking good for Skinner in his debut with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Face-off one here, and Jarry has had a night. 18 shots on 20, or 18 saves on 20 shots. And it's a 5-2 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. Skinner misplays it along the wall. Lazar plays it behind the net. Quinn Hudson. Hudson back to the point. Nurse could not hold it in. A race for the puck here with Mantha. Mantha still gets the puck, though, as it was poked away by Nurse. Hayes the other way. Poked off his stick. Along the boards. This is the biggest lead of the game in this one. Shot from the line. It was blocked on the way through. Vasily Podkolzin with his 9th goal of the season. Mantha holds it in. Shot by St. Ivany. And that deflects out of play into the netting with 12:27 to go. Third period, 5-2 Edmonton. And this is just a broken play. The block shot there. The block pass. Parker Weatherspoon blocked it with a skate. And then it came to a trailing Podkolzin, who scored right there. And Draisaitl is having a night. It's just been one of those nights for the Edmonton Oilers. Top guys performing. Draisaitl reached 1,000 points tonight. Shot from Shea was blocked on the way through. Letang behind the net. Brazeau. Letang shot towards the net. Looked like a high stick. Oh boy. A high sticking call. And it's going against Edmonton. Shot wide of the net. Kindle is still holding his face. Extra man out there. Delayed penalty. It's going against Edmonton. McGroarty plays it back. Delayed call. It's going against Edmonton. And so the Pittsburgh power play. For I believe the 4th or 5th time in the game, Letang plays it. And it becomes a question. Kindle touches it up. And it's touched up by the Oilers and Hyman. Was it bleeding? I'm not sure. And he is bleeding. I think he's trying to show that to the refs. Maybe a 4-minute power play here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We will see.
See that stick blade's going to...
4-minute double minor. An aggressive Ty Emberson high stick right there, and it's called a 4-minute double minor. And so the Penguins have a golden opportunity to get back in this game. Couldn't ask for a better way to get back in this one with 11:46 to go. Crosby wins the faceoff, trying to get back in the game of the Penguins. Raquel trying to get at the goal line. Rimmed it all the way around. Back to a vacant point. Karlsson shot deflected wide by Crosby. Rust. Raquel along the boards. Raquel trying to get it free. Rust fishes it free. 1 for 4 in the night for the Penguins. Shot off the side of the net. On the power play, Mantha. Mantha holds. Intercepted for a moment. Comes back for Karlsson. Carlson, double minor power play. Crosby. Carlson. Shot. Deflected. Blocked on the way through. Rust. Deflected to the cross. Crosby back to the point. Held in by Mantha. Off the glove. That would have been a hand pass, and it's going to be called a hand pass with 11:01 to go. Touched the glove. And Raquel's mad about that. Faceoff comes back out to center. It just seems like the Penguins just can't create the room on these power plays here. Man, this was the first power play unit. This is the first power play in the league ranked. And they don't look like it right now. 1 for 4 on the night. And they have a double minor power play right now to try to just get back in this one again. Raquel plays it back. Carlson. Carlson will move it ahead. Carlson carries it ahead. Carlson will get it out of the zone. And Oilers clear it once again. Mantha, 50 seconds to go on the first part of this double minor power play for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They need to get back in this one. Carlson will move it ahead. Carlson rimmed it all the way around. Big hit along the boards. Russ trying to get it. Janmark forced it out. Podkolzin shorthanded. 3-on-2 shorthanded for the Oilers. Back in onside. Janmark forced it into the corner as he couldn't handle the pass originally. Carlson in his own zone. And the power play that's had nothing. Basically, the only goal on the power play was the Erik Karlsson goal. One of the 2 goals in the game for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Turnover here into the high slot. Fakes the shot was Letang. Letang across. Feeding it back to the point. Novak holds. Novak feeds it back. Deflected down low. Novak waits. Novak couldn't take the shot. It was a great back check there by Matt Savoy to poke that puck away from him and stole it away and just stripped it away. Letang, this is a power play that's struggling right now. Back in onside, Kendall lost the puck, and the other way come the Edmonton Oilers. Henrique will shoot it back in. Nothing going on the double minor power play that could have been a golden opportunity to get back in this game. Hayes drops it off. Ben Kendall the other way. Kendall lost the puck on the entry. Man. A horrendous power play. And Crosby back on the ice. Crosby trying to tie the record with Mario Lemieux. Raquel will move it ahead. Raquel dropped it off for Mantha. Feeds it across, and a bouncing puck could not settle down for Rust. It is cleared out of the zone once again. And frustration building by the fans here. And, man, nothing going on this Pittsburgh power play. A 4-minute power play almost done. 40 seconds left in it. Rust, Mantha. Mantha tried to feed it across for Crosby. The pass was picked off. Raquel along the boards. Intercepted. Not cleared out yet. Mantha holds it in. Down low is Rust. Crosby. Crosby shot! And it goes wide of the net. Short side. Carlson holds it in. Crosby. Crosby waits across. Oh, what a save, Jarry! Brian Rust robbed, and Crosby robbed of the tying the points with Mario Lemieux in all-time history in the Penguins. .804 to go here in the third period. Man, close opportunity. Off the face-off one here. Shot blocked on the way through. Pittsburgh power play about to expire. Carlson holds it in. Rust with the puck. 8 seconds to go on the man advantage. Carlson. Mantha. Back for Carlson. Carlson waits. Feeds it for Rust. Rust shoots, and a save made. And the 4-minute power play killed off by the Oilers. Man. Golden opportunity to get back in the game, and they don't take advantage of it. Great penalty kill by the Oilers. Rust trying to win the puck battle. 7.5 to go. Another puck battle win for the Edmonton Oilers. Nurse will shoot it back in from center. 24-20. The shots favoring Pittsburgh, but the score favoring the Oilers by a considerable margin, 5-2. And McDavid will move it ahead with Hyman. McDavid slows it down. McDavid dropped it off a skate of Emerson. Draisaitl tried to hold it in. He does. Intercepted at center by McGroarty. And the other way come the Penguins. Kendall, 7 minutes left to go here in the period. In the game. Along the boards. Big hit thrown across the boards. And the shot was blocked on the way through. Hyman will move it in the other way. Maybe McDavid. McDavid to the net. McDavid! Oh, what a glove save. Stuart Skinner. McDavid trying to go for another highlight reel goal and a big save by Skinner. Might be a little too late, though. 5-2 Edmonton. 6:47 to go. We will be right back. McDavid trying to go for 2. Stuart Skinner says no, but it's 5-2 Edmonton. We're welcoming you back, everybody. 5-2. Edmonton leading it with 6:47 left to go here in the third period. Crosby's dad in the building. Crosby was this close to scoring to make it 5-3 and tying the record with Mario Lemieux's shot on the way through, blocked on the way through. Comes back to the Edmonton Oilers in front. McDavid shut off the post. Connor McDavid had a golden opportunity before he left to commercial, and he almost got another one right there as he hits the post. And Heinen lost it. Stolen away, back in onside. Along the boards, Quinn Hudson holds it in. McDavid feeds it back. Shot from the line, deflected. Blocked into the corner, Frederick. Feeds it back up top to the point. McDavid along the boards. McDavid at the side of the cage. Trying to wrap it around. Centering pass, shot blocked on the way through. Stastny holds it in. 6 minutes left to go here in the third period. McDavid again. McDavid feeds it in front, Frederick. Oh my goodness, McDavid. Even with the time ticking off and the 5-2 lead, he is trying to make some highlight reel passes. Wants the highlight reel, I guess, quality of chances right there. Man. Mangiapane will play it back. 5-2. Edmonton leading it, and the Pittsburgh Penguins almost force a turnover right there. Mangiapane rimmed it around. Shea along the boards. Lost it. Janmark plays it back to the point. Held in. Turned over here. 5:20 left to go. Backing onside. Brazeau finds a cutter! And that's just poked away by Jarry at the last second. Brazeau shoots it back in from the blue line. 5-2. Edmonton leading it. Along the boards. Kendall was trying to get it free. Brazeau. 5 minutes left to go. Third period. Penguins need 3 to tie it. Weatherspoon shot, and that goes wide of the net. Might have hit the outside of the post. Weatherspoon again spins away from pressure. Weatherspoon again spins away. Weatherspoon trades places with Shea. Kendall is in the way. And the other way come the Oilers. Janmark back in. 1-on-4. We'll just send it in deep. Witherspoon, 4.5 to go, third period. Wonder if they pull Skinner or not. Podkolzin and Skinner talking in front of the net, it seems like. 5-2 deficit for the Penguins. Maybe they pull the goalie sometime soon. I saw the doors open. Maybe they are doing it. Jarry, Ekholm, moves it ahead. Draisaitl feeds it across, off the skate. Letang shoots it back in. Far corner, Ekholm. Ekholm along the boards. Pittsburgh needs possession here if they want to pull the goalie potentially. Maybe another odd man rush here. Cutting into the net. Centering pass for Draisaitl on the save made by Skinner. 3:54 left to go here in the third period, and Skinner still making some big saves on his former teammates. 3:54 to go, third period. It's been an Edmonton Oilers night here in Pittsburgh. We'll be back. Back, everybody. Records in sight. First on Penguins all-time points list. 8th on the NHL all-time points list. And 7th on all NHL all-time points list. Steve Yzerman. He's completed 1,700 point milestone franchise record for multi-point games, Crosby, in this 2025-26 season. And 100th game-winning goal in this season. He's done all that. And the face-off one here, Stastny. 5-2 Edmonton. Nugent-Hopkins shot on the way through. Went wide of the net. McDavid gets it back. McDavid along the boards. Lost it at center. Rust. Carlson. Rust again. Back in onside. Rust. Feeds it behind the net. Crosby was trying to get it. Along the boards. Rust gets it free. Mantha. 3.5 to go. Shot. Save made at the side of the cage. Empty net for the Penguins. Do or die right now. 6-on-5 advantage. Shot towards the net. Save made. Jarry got tripped up. Was Rust. No penalty. Held in by Carlson. Shot deflected down low. They score! .309 to go. Brian Rust. And it's a 2-goal game again. Crosby does not get a point out of that one, I don't think so. Russ thought he got tripped up earlier on in the play. And getting the puck towards the net. Rebound was in front. Russ, 3:09 to go. It's not over just yet, potentially. 5-3. 3:09 to go, and it's not over just yet. 12th goal of the season for Brian Rust. And he makes it a 2-goal game again. And it's cleared out again by Edmonton. Empty net again for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Not yet, at least. Less than 3 to go. Witherspoon deflected it. Off the skate, Draisaitl. Podkolzin dumps it back in. Witherspoon behind his own net. 2:45 left to go here in the third period. Pittsburgh within 2. Trying to get the game even at 5. Back in shot. Save made. Jarry. Face off in the Edmonton zone as Kevin Hayes took the shot. He's going to change and the big boys are going to come back onto the ice. Probably an empty net at the other end too. Crosby's back on the ice again. Mario Lemieux in his press box just trying to see, will he get a point? Will he get 2? Maybe. To get this game leveled past the record potentially. We could have a situation where Crosby could tie this game at 5 if he gets an assist. Just unbelievable. Carlson. Crosby again. Crosby along the boards. Carlson. One-timer blocked on the way through. Rust to Crosby. Carlson. 2:25 to go. Crosby again. Crosby shoots and a pad save. Jarry. Letang. Intercepted by Bouchard. Janmark trying to clear it. Cannot. Letang. Henrique trying to clear it out of the zone. He will. Race for the puck here for the empty net. Carlson will get there first before Janmark. 2:05 to go here in the third period. 5-3. Oilers leading it. Shot back in by Raquel. Bouchard. And it's rimmed all the way around. Not out of the zone just yet. Pittsburgh. Rust. Along the boards. Mantha. Along the boards. Crosby. Or pardon me. Yeah, it was Crosby. Carlson holds it in. Crosby holds. Feeds it down low. Mantha cross. And Rust couldn't get the stick on it. Carlson waits to Crosby. Crosby in the middle. And a bad pass there by Crosby. You rarely see that. McDavid angled off. 90 seconds to go. Third period. Pittsburgh trying to get within 1 and get this game leveled. We will see. Picked off. McDavid for the empty net. He scores! The strip of the puck right there, and it's McDavid who gets the empty net goal, and it's 6-3. But the Penguins so close to getting Brian Rust a goal right there to make it 1-goal game, and Crosby almost got the assist. Mantha a perfect, and wow, Rust just messed that up. That's been the night for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and McDavid puts his second home in the game. Not as good as the first goal by Connor McDavid in the night. And so McDavid happy. And it's a 6-3 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4-point night for McDavid. And the Oilers are about to go 47-0-0, and both McDavid and Tristan will get 3+ points in a game. Unbelievable. Mangiapane will move it ahead. And if the strategy here for the Pittsburgh Penguins is to limit Draisaitl and McDavid, they sorely messed up on that, because that has not been the case here in this one. So the game-winning goal will be from Bouchard on a power play goal, unless the Pittsburgh Penguins score again here. And forced back in, Pittsburgh will move it ahead. 37 seconds to go. Long shot by Hayes. Blocked and out of play with 35.3 to go, and the arena emptying here at the PPG Paints Arena. 6-3 Edmonton against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Crosby gets 1 point closer to Mario Lemieux, but he will not tie it or pass it here tonight. Unless he's... I don't see him coming back out here for the last 35.3. He's on the bench. Captain. Regula won the face-off, and Edmonton. Frederick carries it ahead. Rimmed it around. Shea. Heinen will move it ahead. Novak on the outside. Novak cutting to the net. Novak centering pass. Shot. Score! 13.4 to go. Dan and Heinen. 6-4. Good setup there by Tommy Novak to feed it in front for Heinen, and it's 6-4. So I spoke too soon. Bouchard does not get the game-winning goal in this one. 13.4 to go. And the Penguins again within 2, but a little too late. They score 4, but the Oilers score 6. Witherspoon moved it ahead here. Novak again. Novak. Regula dropped his glove. 2 seconds and 1. The Edmonton Oilers come to Pittsburgh and win it 6-4. And the game-winning goal by Podkolzin. Pittsburgh kept fighting back until the lead got a little ahead of themselves, and even though they made it 5-3, empty net goal, and then even at the last seconds of the game, Tommy Novak was able to set up that goal for Dan Heinen, and a 6-4 final here in Pittsburgh, and just a unfortunate period for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but what a performance by the Edmonton Oilers. Unbelievable what we saw from the Edmonton Oilers here tonight. They played a great game. Unbelievable game they played. Just, man, top to bottom, they played a good game. 6-4, the final here in Pittsburgh. The Edmonton Oilers, the win. Vasily Podkolzin, the game-winning goal. I'm Max. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time here on the NHL and MHS. 6-4, your final from Pittsburgh.